Okay, so we gotta talk about this one, fam. So the Xbox Showcase just dropped, and man, they released some bangers. I mean, I couldn't even hate. Xbox showed out this time, and woo, I cannot wait to get into this because there's a lot to talk about. Before we get into the games, there's actually quite a lot of context behind why this showcase was such a big deal, and it was a big deal for a couple of reasons. One of those reasons is because Xbox quite recently shut down a bunch of the beloved studios, and they got a bit of flack for that.
Big man thing, yeah? It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
And not to mention that there was a whole debacle that Xbox fans were so worried that everything was going to be on PlayStation eventually. And, people were memeing the hell out of that. But fortunately, Phil Spencer or whoever the exec at Xbox decided not to release everything, but just a few things. Which actually begs the question, how much is going to be released onto PlayStation at a later stage? But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the showcase. And my word, Xbox showed out. They had a bunch of games, but the question really remains, how many of those games are going to be exclusive or stay exclusive? That's kind of the big thing that happened with this showcase. And yes, a lot of those games were third party. Call of Duty obviously was third party. Life is Strange, Stalker has some kind of timed exclusivity on it. But let's be fair, the whole showcase, the purpose of these showcases is to showcase the upcoming games that make people want to buy Xbox. Was it good? Yes. Would I buy an Xbox? And here's the thing with Xbox, and this is why I think it's really struggling. Well, kind of what a lot of people think it's really struggling. They've had a lot of flack and backlash over the years, so they had to get this. They had to get this right. They had to make sure that this showcase lands and that people are going to want to stay on the platform, want to stay on Xbox, want to stay playing on Game Pass on PC. But let's talk about the games. The games as a whole were great. Okay, they had a great lineup of stuff to show, a bunch of new games. They were much better than Summer Games Fest, to be completely honest. But then again, that's the purpose of the showcase, is just to make sure that, hey, if you have an Xbox, you are going to be guaranteed to play this game, or preferably on Game Pass. I don't know why they're pushing Game Pass this much. I don't think it's profitable, but I'm not gonna get into that. The games were great. The games are awesome. Like, freaking Mixtape was one of those games that I saw and I was like, whoa, okay, that's something I would get an Xbox for. Gears of War E-Day, let me say. That's a game I would definitely get an Xbox for. Microsoft Flight Simulator. I would love to get an Xbox to play stuff like that. But out of the whole showcase, if you're telling me that 3 or 4 of those games are going to be exclusive, what was the point? I mean, yes, a lot of those games are kind of just to show off. They're going to be day one on Game Pass, and I get that. But on the other hand, there's a big worry for Xbox gamers, or at least Xbox gamers should have a huge worry on their hands if you're telling me that in the next coming years, only 3-4 games out of those coming years are going to be exclusive. I mean, they had a great lineup. They had Doom: The Dark Ages was there, Black Ops 6 was there, Edge of Midnight, something of Midnight, Song of what? I don't know what that game is called. I need to try to think of that game. I'll get it, but that game and a bunch of pretty interesting titles. Now, was that showcase really good enough to say that it beat Summer Games Fest? Personally, yes. I mean, Summer Games Fest kind of supported more indie titles, which is great, don't get me wrong. That's fantastic for indie devs to kind of showcase their work and get them people talking about what's coming up. But the showcases is where really the heavy hitters are supposed to be, and they did that well. Now, this is the only issue I have with the Xbox showcase, is that the games that were shown were kind of okay. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying they were bad games, I'm just saying they're okay in the sense that there's going to be a chance that eventually, or if not immediately, are going to come to another platform outside of PC, which I'm talking about PlayStation. Some of them might even be on Switch. I don't know. But the thing is, the showcase is meant to be this big banging extravaganza just to make sure people have faith in Xbox, and my word, does Xbox need it. Like, they needed to show out, and they did. They showed out a lot. And was it enough? I guess we'll have to wait until some of the games release. But this is what I'll say about this showcase, is that this showcase definitely has Sony sweating a little bit. Unless Sony, has an ace up their sleeve, I don't think Sony might beat them this year. That's a controversial statement, don't hold me to that, but hey, from what I saw, they had some bangers lined up. So Xbox, I give you your flowers. You showed up. Like, Xbox needed a W, and this was it. They needed a big W, and they got it. So yeah, Xbox showcase, really good, really good. I can't wait to see all the upcoming showcases, Gamescom, PlayStation showcase eventually when it drops, Nintendo Direct. Who knows what's gonna come up, but this definitely has a bunch of the other big companies having to pull their socks up now because they saw all the bangers Xbox is coming through with, and so they have to one-up them, and that makes me excited. I cannot wait for the next directs and showcases and conventions to kind of bring something big to the table. I cannot wait for that. But until then, this has been your boy Samson. If you like this type of video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.